Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video. This is a paid request, this time for James. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topic, reaction, review, commentary, re-review, randomness, uh, video game playthrough, let's try, whatever the case, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down in the info box where it's at this week on YouTube. And I apologize for the background noise with the chickens and roosters. Trust me, it drives me insane, and I hate that so many of my videos have them in it, and it's just how it is around here in the middle of nowhere in Texas. There's nothing I can do about it, Sally. It's just really annoying. It gets to you after a bit, but anyway, going off tangent. So I apologize. But anyway, we're at Breaking Bad Season 2, Episodes 9 and 10. Now, Episode 9, I actually rather liked because it was an episode where we got to see more of our two main characters kind of interacting with each other. Because they're stuck in this situation that they can't get out, and they're in the middle of nowhere, trapped in their RV. Because the setup is Walt, played by Bryan Cranston, he sees his growth in his lungs when he goes to the doctor. He knows he's been spitting up blood. And after all the expenses and some hiccups along the way, after being laundered, realizes he doesn't really have much money, like 9 to 16,000 for his family. So he knows he needs to make a lot more. So he gets the Jesse character, Aaron Paul, to be like, we need to really cook. We really need to get some stuff made. So the Walt character lies to his wife, saying that he's going to go to his mom. Him and Jesse go into the RV. They go to the middle of nowhere, and they cook for like 2 days straight. And I did like the montages. I like seeing more of how they cook, the details of cooking, the suits that they wear, and the little details. That was nice to see a bit of the behind the scenes of how they make their product. But one thing leads to another. The Jesse character being a screw up, he left the keys in the ignition. It drained the battery, so they try to start it, and they're stuck there. There's not much they can do. At one point, there's a fire, and another screw up Jesse does. He uses the water instead of the fire extinguisher they have, so they don't know what to do. They try to contact one person. That guy gets lost. And it's kind of a quiet, contemplative episode where you need the interaction between these two. Obviously, some anger because of Walt knowing just how dumb Jesse is. But this is kind of this little misadventure that they have where, Walt kind of thinks about what's going on in his life right now, how he's been lying, how all I did was worry and disappoint my family, and how he feels very guilty about that, knowing that he may not have much time left. Even though they have like over $600,000 worth of drugs apiece, but they can't cash it in, they can't do anything because they're stuck here. And I like the way it looked, the episode. When the montage of them cooked in and they're outside drinking, and you see the wide open space of the desert at night and very gorgeous looking scenery, or shots of the RV in the daytime. You see the clouds going by fast. Very good cinematography. This give it a nice mood and atmosphere to it. Some funny moments when Walt is getting mad at Jesse about why did he put the keys in ignition, and Jesse's like, "Oh, like I could have left them on the counter, bitch." Because that's what I did, and you told me not to do that. And like I said, it was nice to see this banter back and forth between these two characters. And in a weird way, like the most honest he could be with someone is with this Jesse character. Because he can't tell anybody else. He can only tell Jesse. So this kind of moment of sharing his bit of soul he can only do with this Jesse guy. And ultimately, Jesse comes up with the idea of, why don't you make a new battery? He does it. It was kind of cool, little MacGyver type of way of him making a battery. That's remind me of like the old days of watching MacGyver. Which, I mean, I didn't watch a whole lot, but bits and pieces. And then they're able to do it. And then the interesting part is at the end, when they get back, Walt goes to the doctor with his family, and apparently he's in remission, and his tumor shrunk by 80%. So while everybody's happy, understandably so, Walt is kind of not sure what to do, goes in the bathroom and punches the hell out of the bathroom. And this confusion kind of sets in with the viewer of, well, why is he mad? Well, he's mad because maybe the first time in his life he's had this sense of power, worth, excitement, and doing these dangerous deeds. Despite how much he got mad and angry about it, maybe he enjoyed this misadventure he had because it was exciting and it was something, it was an obstacle he was able to overcome by using his wits and his smarts and his know-how, and able to create this battery and make it out and survive. So that adrenaline, that excitement, I think has become more and more addicting to the Walt character. And the sense of power and being looked at with fear and with, it's an addictive, seems like an addictive thing for Walt. And now that that's taken away, and the idea of going back to the milk toast, not respected, not, just much more boring life, is crushing blow to him. Because he thought, well, I could do this because I'm going to die anyway, but now that's taken away. It's like, what do I do now? Type of sentiment. And then at least in episode 10, where he has dinner with Jesse, and he's like, I guess I'm done. But it's a crestfallen look, not like a relieved, not like a, like Jesse is more relieved that he's healthier than Walt is himself. Which basically, again, that you see this kind of slow build of Bryan Cranston's character about how, like, he did this for his family at first, but you see this is more and more about doing it for him. Because he has the money. Again, $600,000, if that's the case. But now he needs to find more excitement, so he wants to do risky things. There's a party, and he gets his son drunk, and Dean Norris gets pissed about it, so he confronts Dean Norris. He's tired of someone disrespecting him, even though it's his friend. Or he needs to do something, so he's like building a new water heater, or he has him in the basement, and he just tries to do something, build something, accomplish something that's exciting or dangerous. And his restlessness of normality and going back to normality, I would say that's really the thrust of episode 10. Just the rest of it, you have Jesse with his kind of new girlfriend, and we see her dad, actually John Delancey, Q, from Star Trek The Next Generation. I'm like, okay, that's cool to see John Delancey there. I don't know if he'll be a big proponent later on, but it's nice to see him in there. So you have a little bit of friction and a little bit of development with Jesse, where like Jesse, apparently he did superhero drawings, and she's like, well, they all look like you. And then when there's some friction because of her dad, she draws her own superhero what the hell's a drawing? Drawing called Apology Girl. So that seems like, again, Jesse, things are on the right and narrow, like, things that worked well for Jesse. He's don't have this money, there's his girlfriend, who knows where that could lead to. But for Walt, he just can't handle this normality again after that jolt of adrenaline that he saw before. So it's an interesting character development. More so at the very end of the episode. I would say I liked episode 9 a lot more. The idea of being stuck in this RV in the middle of nowhere raises a bit of attention, what they're going to do next. And because of cinematography of the outskirts of the desert. But episode 10, I did like the last scene where he goes to a store and he sees someone's buying stuff similar to what he bought. So he gives them some tips. They freak out. But then he goes up to them and goes, "Stay out of my territory." Even though this guy's like a much bigger guy, he's intimidated by Bryan Cranston and his intensity and leaves with his buddy. And you see Bryan Cranston kind of smile. And like, okay, this is what he wants. This is what he's driving towards. This is what he deep down wants, and he didn't know he wanted, but he definitely knows now. Maybe he doesn't realize 100%, but he's going to get there. So it's that kind of power trip in a way. Self-worth, self-respect, that whole thing, galvanizing is one central core of this character, and it makes the character interesting of how it's being developed and where it's going to go and grow as I continue watching the show, thanks to people like James. Again, thank you for the paid request. So that, among other stuff, makes the show at least interesting and intriguing to see where it's going, and I think because the cast work well. I mean, the wife character and what's going on with this guy named, was it Ted or something at work? I'm not really interested in that. I know it sounds mean, but the wife character, I'm kind of, Not bad. Not bad acting, but I'm just kind of mad. Like, the stuff with Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul, those characters are definitely much more interesting as characters to me. I do like Dean Norris as Hank. The rest of the family stuff, I'm fine, but if there's a less interesting bit of it for me on the show, it's that stuff, but so far not too much of a problem. But overall, I liked it. I liked these 2 episodes. There really hasn't been many episodes I disliked. It's all kind of a slow piece of the puzzle, because I know that the makers of the show, they had a certain frame, and they weren't going to go further. So it's all part of the plan, so to speak. So I do appreciate that. But it does seem like one of those shows that's best to watch in a binge format type of thing, or like this, where I'm gradually doing it step by step. But not just out of the blue, you see one random episode. I think you can still enjoy it, but probably not as effective as keeping up with it. But overall, still liked it so far. So thanks for watching. Take care. Thanks once again, James. And we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.